Welcome back, everybody. How are we doing? Sorry, I can't see. Well, welcome. Hope you enjoyed that. And I can't see the volume, so I don't know. Is the volume okay? Because I think I clicked it away. I clicked my volume window away somehow, but that's okay. Let's see if we have a birthday. Let's say hello to everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was challenging and fun. So let me see if I can. Yeah. I think the volume is good, so I'm gonna assume it's okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about the weather in a minute, which obviously I hope was obvious that it inspired today's music somewhat. Welcome, George or Jorge and Bill, Roseanne. Thank you very much. Lacey's here, Mr. Lacey, Charlie. Good to see you. And who else? What is it? Runsky art? I don't know. But welcome. Sue, nice to see you. Geneva is here. And Jesse, Cornelius. I'm glad. I expect as much. Nice to see you. Bill, Bill Bradley, Bill Clugston, and who else? I think I'm all caught up. Maybe. Christina, nice to see you. Right. Thanks for dropping in. And is Barb Marley's birthday today too? Well, happy birthday to everybody. And Rebecca just showed up. Hey, everybody. So thanks for being here. Let me know if the sound is okay. I just want to make sure because I don't know what happened to my little sound window. I usually, when you do these things, you got to have little meters and things. I'm usually looking at the sound just to make sure because we had some sound issues when we first started this. But lately we've been doing pretty well. So just let me know. We started with a lot of things, you guys, right? I tried to dig up as many, and as much rainish kind of weather, wet weather, stormy, rainy sounds I could get my hands on without, opening up every case and trunk in my garage. But I think I got my hands on some good stuff. So let's go over. Thank you, Geneva, for the sound check. Appreciate that. And yeah, you guys, we start off with. Can I do this? Yes. All right. We started off with the little seed pods, which are always sweet. Really nice little ankle pods, right? These are two. This is two sets of them. I don't know if you could see that, right? But there's two sets of these tied together, and then one would just go around your ankle or your wrist. I guess if you have tiny wrists or tiny ankles. Either way, but these would be for dancers, and I just kind of use them like this. Thanks, Bill, okay, volume is good. Good, everybody's down with the sound. That's good. We had another, I think I used these two. These are a little bit larger. Same thing, but larger, and you can hear the difference. It's actually a pretty big difference. Just going from, I mean, these are tiny. These are like microscopic, right? From that sound to this sound. So, and then we had a single brass monkey ball. The other one over here somewhere, yeah. But I just use one. Sometimes one ball is all you need. You can quote me on that. Oh, we had some beautiful chimes over here. I've got, I don't know, another kind of high up in your picture, but these are the ohm chimes, and these are the jazz chimes. It's a double row of wind chimes, and I've had these for, I don't know, 30 years, maybe more. 30, yeah, maybe more. But they're awesome. I have, of course, a chow gong over here. Can you guys see the gong? Kind of. There it is. I'm trying to get some light on it. Look at that, the chow gong. This is like a 17, not super big, but coincidentally, you guys, it's the same pitch. Let me see if I can show you. It's the same pitch. That is really close to this. Not exact, but pretty close. Right? So I was vibing on that. They kind of go together. So that worked really well with the minor, kind of crazy, spooky sort of sound. At the beginning, I had the my handmade in Mexico thunder tube or thunder drum. If you hold it up to the mic, right? Oh, that's a bit much. And then I have my my wind whistle, which was made by Javier. I'm forgetting his name now. Quijas, I think. He was a local guy. I've had this so long too, and I've glued it back together. I don't know if you can see that. There's a crack here. It got kind of beat up because I took it on the road. I liked it so much. I took it on the road and it just kind of got beat up, but it's okay. It made it. But this is handmade, and it sounds like that. Use that for some cool wind sound. And then speaking of wind sounds, of course, I had my flute, one of many. This is Pat Heron D bass flute, which I often play, right, on the Tuesday Museday. One of the reasons I'm playing the D flute is because, of course, it matches my pan here, the hand pan, which this one is a metal sound. You guys have seen this before on the show. It's Space Drum Nitro by Metal Sounds, available from our friends at We Play Well Together. So that's a nice D minor tuning hand pan, so it matches the flute. Now let's get a little more technical for a second, because some of you may have this question. I also had this keyboard, which is a little Yamaha keyboard. What is it? DX something. And what I did is I played a pedal tone. Let me get the octave right. On F. And I brought that in and I put it in the looper, just that pedal F. That's a drone. Actually, those of you that are in the composing music course on Patreon, I just dropped a second lesson in the series, and we talked about drones, right? Case in point. That's exactly what that was. So I had the drone in F, and then what I did is I started playing over it, and I played just like F and B minor or G minor, and then like a C, which is very tense there, and then but it resolves so well. And you maybe throw in a G on the F chord just to give it a little richness, or maybe a D. And just kind of did a cycle, had a little cycle going on the looper, and then of course I added the handpan and the ukulele in there, and it was meant to be it was meant to be a little unprecise, you know, just like a group of people kind of floating through time together, but not trying to be exactly together. And I was just kind of listening, you know, just listening to myself play and loop, and there is a click in here, but it was kind of in the background. So I just had a general idea of where the time was and what, you know, when I was changing chords and things. And I kind of like that. It wasn't too neat and tidy. So it gave a more ethereal sound. Because our weather is kind of like that. So yeah, why are we doing all this water, watery sound? Of course, because I'm in Southern California and it's been raining straight, you guys. It's been raining like now we're on day 3, I think. And you guys have been probably watching the news, right? You know what's going on. So I do want to say I wish everyone well. I know we've had some bad outcomes already, and I just want to say I hope, you know, I'm putting out good vibes for everything, and I hope everybody's okay as always. All right, so I think that catches us up on all the instruments. If you do have a question, I know Christina said she had a question, so let me know or hang on to it. But I will answer the one question I see, which is how do you keep all this stuff organized? Do you mean in the looper or in my garage studio or I don't feel like I do keep it super organized, but one of the things I do is when I'm making music is just try to listen, right? Because listen intently, because sometimes that's all you have is to just be able to hear. You know, hopefully we're always listening, but you know, rather than counting or you know what you see, rather than music is not so much a visual. Sometimes it can be a visual. You know, you can get cues. But ultimately, it's the sound, right? So we have to tune into it. Yes, how do I keep organized in life? Same thing. I listen, I pay attention, try to pay attention, right? And that's where music mindfulness comes in. We use the lessons in music to inform our mindfulness practice, which basically means it's just paying attention practice and being present, you know, being present. Feeling the things in the moment, you know, being here now, right? Like Ram Dass said, be here now. So, yeah, that's it. Anybody else have any questions right now before we move on? Because I do want to keep things moving. We're already God, can you believe it? We're already almost at the halfway point. I can't believe that. So while you guys are getting your questions thought up and typed up, we're going to do the next part of the show, which you guys know is this.
Guess the sound!
All right, so I'm going to turn down the sound a little bit because I got the mic kind of hot here. So let me turn this down and I'll play the sound. All right, that's all you guys get for today. Any ideas? And yes, like Roseanne said, keep these in mind for the Give Me 5 later. We have a lot of choices today. Welcome, Doug. Let me know what you think the sound is. What is the sound? Did you guess the sound? Here it is again. And I can hear it echoing in the gong. See, can you guys hear that? Woo! Anytime you have a gong hanging up in the room and then you're doing anything, it's going to catch. It's kind of like a microphone and a speaker at the same time, which microphones and speakers are basically the same type of thing, you know, just like a membrane that produces vibrations, right? One's coming in, of course, one's reading the vibrations, but it's still sympathetically vibrating. And then, of course, when a speaker makes sound, it's getting the electrical impulses and then making the vibrations again. Hopefully in a way that's accurate. All right. What's the first guess? Let me see. It sounds like Tic Tac breath mints, but is not. Banana shaker. No, good guess. Keys. No, it's not the. No, Sue, it's not the shakers. Those are right here. So it's a little crunchier, right? So I need a specific name. Hugh, a good guess. It's not really a shaker, although it's kind of similar in name. It's not the kibasa, but that's a good guess too. I don't know, and I don't know. To be fair, you guys, I know we're streaming, and I know the sound isn't always, the absolute best, but hopefully. But you guys get the guess the sound instruments pretty regularly, I would say. So I think the sound's probably okay. Here it is one more time. I was going to show you the kibasa over here. Hang on. Oh my goodness. Here's the kibasa. All right, I think we have a winner. And the winner is bang, Charlie, who said shikare. Let me advance. Oops. It's not time for gimme. Hold on. There we go. I'm moving backwards. Yeah, I have an announcement coming right up after this. Yeah, so this is the shikare, or chekare. And it's our beaded gourd. I'm going to play over here away from the mic. Right? This one, well, all the shikares I have, I made. So this is a small one. And it's made from a gourd, of course, and you have beads all around. And it takes a while, to make these. That's a lot of putting beads on. So this is many days of work, at least for me at the time. And but you can make it's inexpensive. It's just crow beads, like plastic beads. So the materials are fairly inexpensive, and you just invest some time, and you can make a shikare. But the shikare, like this style, more used in everywhere from West Africa, well, probably all around Africa, but I know them as in West Africa, Afro-Cuban music, salsa, rumba, any music for the African diaspora. Probably what we call Amerindian, like the native people from the Caribbean too, may have had something similar. I think they did have shakers and rattles and that kind of thing in the Caribbean. Although I don't know if they grew gourds like these until the African slaves got taken there and they started growing, other things. But in any event, now we call it shikare, and it's a great instrument. You guys ought to check out. I have some videos on shikare, and other people do online. It's a good instrument to have. If you've already got your, your shaker and your cowbell and your bongos and your congas, and you're looking for maybe one other thing to add to your collection, like shikare would be another. I would say it's unless you're playing salsa music, it's probably an instrument that you could wait to get, but then eventually you kind of want to have a shikare, I think. All right. So, it sounded a little crunchier than you're used to. Yeah, well, you can have shikares that do, of course, have different size beads, different numbers of beads. Some have shells on them, or they can have glass beads, which I don't recommend, actually. It's very harsh. Even the shells, I think, like seashells, even though they might look nice, it can be very, very strong, very loud and maybe a little too much. I like the plastic bead sound, actually, because it's not quite as sharp. But to each his own. And there's different types of instruments out there. So, yeah. But anyway, keep that one in mind for our Gimme 5. Now, before we start running out of time, I want to go to this next slide because I want to show you guys we do have a master class coming up real quick with Taylor, who's our friend from Tam Tam Mending in Chicago. He's a student of Mamadi Keita and a wonderful djembe player. And we're going to have him in on the 11th. That is this Saturday at 1 p.m. for a master class. And we are doing our master classes every month. We've got a different one. So make sure you guys check it out. And if you're, especially if you're a Courses Tier patron, then you can join us live and watch the class and then ask questions at the end if you want. And then it'll be recorded in video and available in the courses, in the collection of master classes for as long as the internet lasts. After that. All right, that sounded a little fatalistic, but who knows? We don't know, you know, things come and go. So maybe we'll just all have like computer goggles and we won't even need the internet. It'll be something else. I hope I'm gone by then. I don't want I don't want any part of that. I'm like gonna be Mr. Analog. So it says the 10th. Did I say, oh, is it not the 10th? No, it's the 10th. Yeah. Saturday, right? Is that the, correct me if I'm wrong, because now I'm confused. Wait, hold on a second. Let me check my calendar. Hang on. No, I think it's the 10th. Hang on. Let's look. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the 10th. Coming up. Now, how do I get back to the YouTube app on my phone? I don't know. Let me go back up here. Okay, there we go. All right, so Saturday the 10th. All right. Don't confuse me with facts, you guys. If you put something up there. Oh, my brain is like, is that the right date? Is it Saturday? Is it the 10th? It says okay. Yeah, it's Saturday the 10th. Cornelius, you're back. Where did you go? Did you go somewhere? All right. So anyway, if you want to join us for the master classes, become a patron, blah, 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 go to patreon.com/Kalani and sign up. That's the way you can support this show and everything we're doing, the videos I put out, the Tuesday Museday, and the other things. So yeah, why don't you guys get going on your Gimme 5 suggestions. And if you're not sure what that is, Roseanne usually puts a description in the chat, but it's basically just pick 5 instruments and then I will loop them. I will play something with those instruments. Yes, Cornelius is on it. He's like, I'm not waiting. You don't have to wait. You can put it right at the top. I don't care. It's okay. Except it is helpful, I think, if they're all listed together, kind of in the same space. All right. If anybody has any requests or other questions, now would be a good time while we're kind of waiting for Give Me 5s. Give Me 5 suggestions. So let me know. And I will do my best to answer them if I can. It's always best for me if you guys ask questions about things that are kind of right here, in case so I can demonstrate or I can show you, rather than me talking about something that could be a little abstract, because heaven knows we have enough of that. That's a good point, Cornelius. It does say Give Me 5, where? Right here. Yeah, so it's time. We're getting ready. By the way, 2 shirts today because it's cold in here. It's rainy and cold, and I have the studio a little darker today. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do have lights in the room. Like these are I have my video lights, which there's only 2 of, but then I also have regular room lights that I usually leave on, but I have them on a timer, and they went off, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the darker vibe, because that was the vibe. By the way, I wanted to let you guys know that again. I want to talk music theory for just a second, and because I kind of blew past that when I was talking about what I was doing. with the music. So in the first part, it was D minor because the handpan is basically rooted in D minor. The gong is kind of on D minor. So I started with that. And then I went to F on the keyboard with some chords in F major. And hopefully you notice that difference, right, of the feeling from going from D minor, a minor tonality, to a major tonality. And F major is the relative major of D minor. So I can still play F major on my handpan. I just kind of focus on those notes in the major scale, in the major sound, as opposed to the minor. But it's all the same notes of the scale. It's just kind of depending on where you root it, where your fundamental pitch is, you know. So that's kind of what we did there. We went from a minor key to relative major and then back to the minor. And that, in a way, was my form, was my song form. So we call that A, B, and A, right? Not the pitch A, but the A section was the first D minor part with the gongs. And then we had the B section, which was the F major pedal tone, F major chords. And then back to the first, something like the first section, like a recap. All right. Brandon, I see your list. I don't have a tabla. I don't have tabla here. So maybe replace tabla with something else. If you want, or I will, if yours gets picked. So all right. We'll give it another minute, huh? And then Roseanne will pick somebody. No rush, but I hope you guys are doing okay wherever you are. I know it's still, winter. Although in LA here, we were having, last week it was actually hot. It was just like sunny and hot. So you never know what the weather's going to be like. Hello, Daisy. Welcome. All right. Well, let's see. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to set up the looper a little bit differently because I had sort of a special setup over here for that piece. So I'm going to erase everything I have in there now, and then we'll be ready to go. Let's see. So you guys are doing what you're doing. I'm gonna take care of this real quick, which is, I can talk while I'm doing it. I'm gonna reset the loop lengths so that they're all the same, which is 4 bars. I want them to be all 4 bars long. I had set a couple tracks to 8 bars so I could have a longer, like all those chords, all the chord progression stuff. That was longer, so I had time. But I usually don't do that because then I have tracks with different lengths, different loop lengths, and it's hard for me to keep track of stuff if it gets too complicated because I change the looper setup all the time. If I had a system where I was kind of doing the same thing all the time, it wouldn't be so bad. But I set that up just for that piece. And what makes it easy for me, and this is a looper tip, is that if you just have your whole looper set to the same length loops, you don't have to think that hard. Although what I often do, not that you asked, but let me tell you, what I often do with this looper, because it has 5 different loop tracks, right, is I'll put shorter loops on the outside because that's where I often put hand percussion and stuff like shakers, cowbells, bong, like wood blocks, claves. I may put those to 2 bars and then just get those parts down quick because they're just shorter, they're usually shorter parts. And then I'll move in to the tracks 2 and 4, and those might be 4 bars each. And then I might have the middle track be like 8 bars or for whatever I'm doing. But I'll often put the edges at like 2 bars. In fact, I'm going to do that now. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because 2 bars is long enough for a lot of stuff that you want to loop, and there's no reason to keep playing the same thing. If you get it, in 2 bars, you can just move on and get to the next thing. And if you guys want, do we have a Give Me 5 yet? Let me see. I think I might. Do I have bongos? I have bongos back there. If you guys want bongos, I can do that. Let me know. But let's get the gimme 5 pretty soon. Unless I missed it, I don't think I did. And and then we'll do it. Oh, are we gonna go with Brandon? Okay, you did put it. All right, let me see. Djembe, shaker, gong, bongo, hi hat. Let me do, yeah. Let's see. I think I can do that. Gong and hi hat, shaker and gong. Let me see. Is that what we said? Djembe, shaker, gong, bongo, and hi hat. That's interesting. All right. Let me. I'm gonna switch a couple things here. I'll see if I can. Oi! I'll see if I can make that happen. Usually, I don't know. I think I like the challenge of integrating gong into into a rhythm thing. Usually we wouldn't. Gongs are more for accents or sound effects or background, like a gong bath these days, I guess. But traditionally, of course, gongs were used like as a one-time hit. Like on the Gong Show. Do you guys remember the Gong Show? I grew up. That's when I grew up. Like, I think I was in high school when the Gong Show was happening. Bongos, hi-hat. Okay, hang on. You guys are making me rearrange. It's okay. All right, let's see. Hi-hat is not really readily available. I have the shake hat over there, but I'm not going to dig it out right now. So I'll get something else to substitute for that. And like maybe the kashishi or maybe a tambourine. I'm never too far from a tambourine, you guys. Just so you know. Just so you know, all is well. I'm always near a tambourine. I mean, as a percussionist, I guess that's a good thing, right? Okay. I'm just going to play what I have here, so I hope we got something. Oh, yeah, the Unknown Comic. That's right. Gong Show flashback. We had a gong show. I just saw a buddy from college, and we both lived in the dorms the first year of college, and we're both percussion majors. But the dorms are just full of whoever, right? And but the second semester we had just started playing conga drums and percussion, and we thought, oh, let's enter the gong show competition in the dorms. There was a gong show competition night, and we entered, and we did this little skit about like we were like the first humans that discovered conga drumming or something. We came out, we were acting like primitive people. We came out, we started playing our conga drums, and we just started getting into a groove. And they gonged us. I got gonged. It's like one of the first things I ever did on congas. I got gonged by the dorm, probably some RA from the phys ed major, probably some phys ed major. Oh my God. Who's laughing now? Now I have the gong. Can you imagine like some B horror movie where you go, like I go around, I find everybody that was judging me that night, and I go up to their house at night and I gong them. I go to work and I gong them at their work at McDonald's. All right, you guys, let's do this. Enough chit chat. Let's find a groove. Hold on a second. I'm trying something out. I gotta find a tempo. It's coming. I also had lowered, I need more volume on the click because I had lowered it. So I gotta go into the mixer real quick and turn up the click volume in my headset so I can hear what I'm doing. Can you guys hear that? Probably. So I'm gonna crank that up so I can actually hear. Because it's not fun to not hear the click when you're trying to do looping. Okay, I think we're almost ready. Check. Let me turn that down a little. All right, let's try something. I gotta warm up a little. I'm gonna turn this mic down. All right. That's all we have time for, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had a good time tonight. And thanks for the suggestion. Thanks for the Gimme 5, Brandon. Yes, Brandon. Appreciate that. And sorry, I have to scroll way down to the end. Thank you guys for showing up. Come see us at patreon.com/Kalani. Make sure you go through the World Drum Club YouTube channel if you haven't lately, and check out everything that's over there. There's a lot of stuff there, you guys. I also, hey Richard, how are you? You are a little late. That's okay. You can rewind. You can watch all these again if you want. I have the ukulele channel. It's called Ukulele Club. I also have stuff at my other channel, my original channel, which is just called Kalani Music. There's an eclectic array of stuff there. So I invite you to go over there. Thanks to Roseanne, as always, for showing up. And you guys, too. You guys are showing up week after week. I really appreciate that. That is awesome. Have a great week. And I will see you, hopefully, in a drier situation. Not a dire situation. A drier situation next week once we're out of these rainstorms. All right, you guys, have a good night. Blessings to you all. Hope you're all good. We'll see you next time.
World Drum Club.